Hello and welcome to our Culture magazine on I-24 News, where we bring you the best stories from the world of entertainment and art. Today on our show, an exhibition about the tragic experiences of Korean women during World War II causes diplomatic strains. A band that sings in the ancient Spanish-Jewish dialect Ladino. And are TV networks about to stop making TV pilots? But we begin with an exhibition that deals with a charged episode of Korean and Japanese history. During the Second World War, the Japanese government forced thousands of women, perhaps as many as 200,000 from various countries in Asia, to become sex slaves for Japanese soldiers. A new exhibit at the National Museum of Contemporary History of Korea pays tribute to these women, but may cause diplomatic tensions with Japan. Sandy Fortis has the story.
A joint ribbon cutting, a gesture of solidarity that announces the opening of a special exhibition in South Korea. It tells a sensitive story of the young women who were forced into prostitution under Japanese occupation during the Second World War.
The most important evidence is the testimony of the victims. Nothing can be stronger as evidence than that. We created the special exhibition based on this evidence.
The exhibition presents documents, drawings, and audio testimonials, all made by survivors of this tragic period, the so-called comfort women. Other than remind the public about the 200,000 Asian women who were abused, this exhibit also aims to promote recognition of the suffering by Japan.
Through this exhibition, we hope that the Japanese government recognizes the problem of forced prostitution and apologizes, and the victims will forgive the Japanese government, which could lead to a peace in the region of Asia and the East.
In 1993, Japan officially expressed regret about the sexual slavery. Since then, governments have tried to minimize the impact of these words. The Secretary General of the Japanese government, Yoshihide Suga, recently said he would form a committee to review and perhaps revise the apology made by his predecessor. However, Japan is struggling to cope with this part of its history. In January, it expressed strong dissatisfaction when the subject gained exposure in an exhibition at the famous International Comics Festival in Angoulême in France. The reaction did not stop the South Korean government from sponsoring the exhibition, which opened on March 1st, marking the 95th anniversary of its independence.
Ladino is the Spanish dialect spoken by Jews who were expelled from Spain in 1492. They continued to speak it over centuries in the various countries they spread to, mainly in the Balkan countries, Greece and Turkey. They created a rich musical tradition that is still kept alive with both new and old songs being performed. Ladino Mi Alma, or Ladino My Soul, is an Israeli group that performs in Ladino, Hebrew and Greek. And I'm very happy to welcome to our studio Gila Hasid, the group's leader and singer. Thank you so much for coming in, Gila.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about Ladino music. What defines Ladino music?
Ladino music contains traditional songs, contains ancient music that was inspired by they were in Spain, so it's inspired from Andalusia and the little Eastern music, Eastern or like
Middle
this,
Eastern?
like this, and because there were Muslims, the Spanish, so
Right.
it has.
What other influences, other than from the region, or over the years, how has it
Over
evolved?
the years, when they were spread after they were exiled from Spain in the 15th century, they were spread all over the Ottomanic Empire,
Yeah.
and they set in Turkey, and like you said, in the Balkan countries, and then they mixed with the local music, and it's turned to be a very rich music because it has both all the influence of Eastern, Spanish, and Balkan, whatever. In Bulgaria, they have a Bulgarian aroma,
Right.
and I'm connected with Greece because my family comes from Thessaloniki, and I'm lucky to be one who preserve all this rich culture that my parents were a part of,
Yeah.
and Saloniki was almost Jewish before the Second World War, because
We're talking about how many Jews in Saloniki?
it's 52,000 Jews before the war.
And after?
After 1,000, maybe less.
Yeah.
And my family was saved because my grandfather was in Council of Honor of Spain in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
So they got this ID, Spanish ID.
Right.
And they went through Bergen-Belsen, but in good
Good
terms.
conditions.
Good conditions.
Relatively.
Yeah, and after this, they came to Israel. I want to tell about Saloniki before the war, that it's called like Jerusalem of the Balkan. The port was closed in Shabbat, and everybody there spoke Ladino. It's like a Jewish city.
And how widespread is it nowadays, Ladino?
Ladino, I live in Israel, so all the people who came from from the Balkan, from Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, Greece, Turkey, they kept the language and the songs, and it's like a very rich folkloric tradition. There are traditional songs of Shabbat.
That tend to deal with what? I mean, the old songs, the new songs. Are there any subjects that they tend to deal with?
The old songs are, of course, traditional songs for Shabbat, for holidays, and there are the ancient romances that it's like long ballads that deal with kings and princesses locked in the tower, and the long songs with the rhymes, and the other kind of songs are canticas that are shorter songs,
right.
Also dealing with love, unfulfilled love.
What we all deal with during our lives. What else is there to write about? What are you gonna perform for us today?
I will sing to you a song I wrote about my mother, Nina, and all the about the mentality of the Ladino people. They are so
hospitable?
Yeah.
Okay.
And all the happiness. They're happy people. They like to get guests to do.
It sounds wonderful.
Like Tel Aviv in the
back in the day.
Yeah. We miss this world of the. It's a missing.
A little bit nostalgic.
Yeah,
a little bit of nostalgia never killed
because
anyone.
It's going to disappear.
Yeah. Well, Gila Hasid performing Nina. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Καλώς τους.
Nina, 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 na. Nina, 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 na. Nina, 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 na. נשיר ביחד את המנגינה. Nina, 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 na. Nina, 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 na. Nina, 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 na. נשיר ביחד את המנגינה.
Que fritas, fritas, llenas de sabor, arenadicos de Shimon mi padre, borrecas y pastel me hacen enamorar, y yo me quiero acordar.
¿Qué tal? ¿Todo bueno?
Es viernes, vamos a jugar, que hacemos meraklis de cartas. Jaco y Saraya están aquí, el Moabed de Saloniki en Tel Aviv, se quiere todo aparellar, las cartas ya están en la mesa, Gabay y Benvenishti están aquí, el Moabed de Saloniki en Tel Aviv. ¡Opa!
Nina, 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 na. Nina, 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 na. Nina, 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 na. נשיר ביחד את המנגינה.
just a minute, we'll hear whether networks will stop making TV pilots, but first, a few cultural highlights from around the world.
The Sephardic Music Festival in Los Angeles brings to the West Coast the best of Jewish music and culture that originated in the Mediterranean and Arab-speaking countries. The festival offers a platform both for performers of traditional Sephardic folk music and to artists who use traditional Sephardic rhythms, melodies, and motifs in modern musical styles. The lineup includes Yemen Blues, Asaf Avidan, Shaz of Sinai, and Sarah Roast. The festival runs from the 2nd to the 11th of March. Sadler's Wells London Dance House is welcoming the international street dance sensation Blaze as part of their world tour. With a cast of 16 dancers, including Bird Gang Dance Company's Ivan Blackstock, the dance group offers an upbeat spectacle for the entire family. Hip-hop, breakdancing, street fashion, video art, light fixtures, and graffiti can all be found in their world-renowned performance. The show runs in London's Peacock Theatre until March 8th. Celebrity Snaps comes to the museum. The Centre Pompidou in Metz is hosting the first exhibition of paparazzi pictures. The controversial exhibition covers 50 years of celebrity pictures and showcases the work of the genre's leading names, along with reflections on the form by artists such as Richard Avedon, Cindy Sherman, and Andy Warhol. The exhibition does not ignore the difficult aspect of the paparazzi's work or the hard times it causes the celebrities they often chase. Discover paparazzi, photographers, stars, and artists until June 9th.
It's pilot season in Hollywood, that time of year when American TV networks scramble to put together first episodes of shows for their next season. Most of these pilots will eventually not be ordered to series and end up costing the networks a lot of wasted cash. Some are now considering changing this inefficient model. I'm joined in the studio by Yaron Ten-Brink, I-24 News editor and former TV critic. Thanks for coming in.
Hi.
So how does this work? Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, you know, you've got pilot season. It starts in January, it ends in April. Everybody kind of storms into LA with their series ideas and scripts. And then it starts. It's like all hell is breaking loose.
And how many are done?
About 150 per season, all the networks combined.
Yeah.
Like they're doing 25, 30, 40 each. Depends on the year. But it's just too much. I mean, it's not the smart way to make television. The whole season concept is changing rapidly. I mean, we've got series that are going, that are debuting on the summer, which never happened before. And we had it last year with CBS Under the Dome, a spectacular success.
Yeah, it turned out that they took a risk there, but it turned out to be
it was more of a gamble, you know, and I think network TV has to gamble because they're losing the game. I mean, HBO, Showtime, all the premium cable and not so premium cable channels are just stealing their thunder, and it's not just it's just a really old-fashioned way of making television.
Right. So how is it going to change?
It's changing as we speak. I mean, about a month ago, the CEO of Fox said he's going to basically kill pilot season. That means that Fox this season already are ordering complete series, short ones, 13 episodes, without a pilot. So at some cases, like the return of 24 with Kiefer Sutherland.
Right. But that's a good example because they're not taking that much of a risk in this case.
Specifically with this series, no. 24 was the biggest hit of the past decade.
So this will influence content.
It will for sure it will influence content in a number of ways. First of all, you're going to see more remakes of huge hits. I mean, Lost might return in a few years. I mean, just look at the past decade, and you'd see all the hits returning because it's.
And if not shows we know, at least people we know.
Exactly, we'll get that. HBO has done it. Showtime has done it. Everybody wants to do it now. Get the big stars from Hollywood, put them like in the lead, and hope for good. And I think we're going to see that happening much more.
Either people from either stars, as you said, or people behind the scenes. Also,
like showrunners,
right.
writers. I mean, the top talent. You take someone like Vince Gilligan from Breaking Bad, for example. You're not going to tell him, make me a pilot.
We might see some interesting things.
Yeah, we should
come
see.
up on TV.
I expect network TV is coming back.
All right. Thank you so much, Yaron. Thank you for joining us as well. I hope you enjoyed watching us and that you'll join us again tomorrow.